These 5 pistols are selling so fast in America right now that some gun shops can't even keep them in stock for more than 48 hours. In fact, the #1 pistol on this list broke sales records in 37 states and has a waiting list over 2 months long at major retailers. Today, I'm revealing the 5 pistols that are absolutely dominating the US market in 2025. I've personally tested each one of these top sellers and discovered exactly why Americans are racing to buy them before prices climb even higher. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Don't forget to leave a comment. Those things help my channel a lot. Now, let's get back to the good stuff. Number 5. Ruger LCP Max. The Ruger LCP Max has become a star in the gun world for one big reason. It solves the biggest problem of small carry guns. Gun owners have been asking for years, why do I have to choose between a gun that's easy to carry and one with enough ammo? Ruger finally said, you don't. They took their popular pocket-sized LCP and doubled the bullet count while barely changing the size. Now you get 10+1 rounds in a gun that weighs less than your smartphone, just 10.6 ounces. That's like having the firepower of a bigger gun in something you can hide in your pocket. What's crazy is how they pulled this off. The LCP Max is only 5.17 inches long and 4.12 inches tall, small enough to disappear in a pocket holster or ankle rig. But unlike the original LCP, which many owners complained about, this one has real sights you can actually see, and a trigger that doesn't feel like you're pressing through sand. I carried mine all through last summer in Florida, wearing just shorts and a t-shirt, and nobody ever noticed it. The grip texture is just right too. Grippy enough to hold when your hands are sweaty, but not so rough it tears up your clothes or skin. Probably the most impressive part, the price tag. While other premium pocket pistols are pushing $600+, the LCP Max runs about $479 MSRP, but typically sells for around $400 in shops. That's basically the same price as the original LCP, but with double the capacity and way better features. No wonder gun shops can't keep them on shelves. It's the perfect first carry gun that even experienced shooters are adding to their collection for those times when you need something truly invisible. Number 4. Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro OSP. The Springfield Hellcat Pro OSP proves that sometimes just a bit bigger makes all the difference. While other companies were racing to make the smallest gun possible, Springfield took their already popular Hellcat and stretched it just enough to create something special. The result? A gun that's still easy to conceal, but shoots like something twice its size. The magic is in the dimensions. At just 6.6 inches long and only 1 inch wide, it disappears under a t-shirt. But that extra half-inch of barrel and grip, compared to micro-compacts, makes a huge difference when shooting. When I first picked one up, the balance felt immediately better than other carry guns. The grip fills your hand just enough so you're not hanging off the bottom like with tiny pistols. But here's the real game changer: capacity. The Hellcat Pro packs 15 rounds in its flush magazine, plus 1 in the chamber. Then they throw in a 17-round extended mag in the box. That's full-size gun capacity and something you can easily hide. I've taken mine to 3 different training classes, and people are always shocked when I tell them how many rounds it holds. The OSP part of the name means optical sight pistol. This thing comes ready for a red dot sight straight from the factory. No need to send your slide off for expensive milling work. Just remove the cover plate and bolt on popular micro red dots like the Holosun 507K. Even if you don't add a red dot, the factory sights are excellent. A bright green tritium front sight that glows in the dark paired with a crisp, U-shaped rear sight. Perhaps the most practical feature is the actual accessory rail that fits real weapon lights. Try finding that on most carry guns this size. Price-wise, it hits a sweet spot at around $600 street price. Not the cheapest option, but packed with features you'd normally pay hundreds more to add afterward. For someone who wants one do-everything gun that works for both concealed carry and home defense, the Hellcat Pro has become the go-to recommendation at gun shops across America. Number 3. Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus. The Smith & Wesson Shield Plus is what happens when a classic gets the upgrade everyone was begging for. The original Shield was already a legend, over 3 million sold since 2012, but it had one major weakness: limited ammo capacity. Smith & Wesson finally fixed that problem, and gun owners are going crazy for it. The Shield Plus keeps nearly identical dimensions to the original: 6.1 inches long, 4.6 inches tall, and just 1.1 inches wide, but somehow packs 10+1 rounds in the flush magazine and an impressive 13+1 in the extended mag. That's almost double the original Shield's capacity. What's brilliant is they didn't mess with what already worked. The Shield Plus fits in most holsters made for the original Shield, so if you're upgrading, you don't need to buy all new gear. I switched from my old Shield to the Plus, and kept using the same concealment holster I've had for years. The improvements go beyond just bullet count. The new trigger is a massive upgrade, flat-faced with a clean break around 5.5 pounds instead of the mushy pull on the original. During my range testing, this translated to much better accuracy at 15 yards. My groups shrunk by about 2 inches compared to the original Shield. Smith & Wesson also refined the grip texture. It's more aggressive in the right places without being so rough it tears up your clothes or skin during all-day carry. What's fascinating is how they kept the price reasonable despite all the improvements. With an MSRP around $550 but typically selling for $500 or less, it's priced very close to the original Shield. That value proposition is driving huge sales, especially from people upgrading from the first generation. There's also a Performance Center version with fiber optic sights and a ported barrel if you want the premium experience. The Shield Plus proves that sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just give people exactly what they've been asking for. With its perfect blend of proven reliability, familiar handling, and now competitive capacity, gun store owners tell me they can barely keep them in stock, as both first-time buyers and Shield veterans rush to grab one. Number 2. Sig Sauer P320. The Sig Sauer P320 isn't just a gun, it's like buying a whole system that grows with you. This is why gun stores can't keep them in stock, even though they've been out since 2014. The P320's secret weapon is something called the Fire Control Unit, that small metal chassis inside that's legally the gun part. Everything else, the grip, slide, barrel, can be swapped out without buying a whole new firearm or dealing with paperwork. This is revolutionary. I started with a compact P320 3 years ago and have since changed it into 3 different configurations without buying a new gun. Just pop out the FCU, drop it into a new grip and slide combo, and suddenly you have a completely different pistol for a fraction of the cost. The military saw this genius design and chose it for their new standard sidearm in 2017, replacing the Beretta M9 that had been in service since the 1980s. When the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines all pick the same gun, people notice. The standard compact P320 hits the sweet spot for most buyers. 3.9-inch barrel, 7.2 inches overall length, and a weight of 26 ounces unloaded. It feels substantial enough to shoot comfortably, but not so heavy it drags your pants down all day. The real magic happens with the aftermarket support. There are literally hundreds of different grips, slides, barrels, and accessories. Want a full-size range gun on the weekend, but a compact for daily carry? Same gun, different parts. Wilson Combat even makes premium grip modules that transform the feel entirely. What surprises most first-time shooters is how good the trigger is right out of the box. Mine breaks cleanly at about 5.5 pounds without the sponginess you feel in many striker-fired pistols. The X-series models take this even further with their flat-faced triggers that many shooters prefer. Looking at price, the basic P320 starts around $579, but street prices vary widely depending on which version you get. The beauty is, you can start with a basic model and upgrade piece by piece as your budget allows. It's like buying a starter home you can add on to instead of having to move every time your needs change. With the military contract cementing its reputation for reliability and the unmatched flexibility of the design, the P320 continues to fly off shelves faster than Sig can make them. Number 1. Sig Sauer P365. The Sig Sauer P365 didn't just change the concealed carry market, it completely rewrote the rules of what's possible in a small handgun. When it arrived in 2018, it shocked everyone by packing 10+1 rounds into a gun smaller than competitors that only held 6 or 7 rounds. It was like someone figured out how to fit a V8 engine in a compact car without changing the size. The gun world went crazy, and even now in 2025, the P365 is still selling at record pace. What makes the P365 special starts with its innovative magazine design. Sig created a new kind of staggered magazine that's narrower than traditional double stacks but holds more than single stacks. The result is a grip that measures just 1 inch wide but somehow accommodates 10 rounds standard, with 12, 15, and even 17-round extended magazines available. I carry mine with the 12-round mag that adds just a tiny bit of length to the grip, while giving me 2 extra rounds and a full 3-finger grip. Size-wise, it's almost unbelievable. Just 5.8 inches long, 4.3 inches tall with the standard magazine, and weighing only 18 ounces unloaded. For comparison, that's smaller in every dimension than a Glock 43, but with nearly double the ammo capacity. This tiny size means you can carry it anywhere: appendix, pocket, with the right holster, ankle, or even in a belly band while working out. The shooting experience defies its size too. Unlike most tiny guns that punish your hand with snappy recoil, the P365's ergonomics and low-bore axis make it surprisingly controllable. During my testing, rapid-fire groups at 7 yards stayed inside a 4-inch circle. Impressive for any compact gun, much less one this small. Sig didn't cut corners on the important stuff either. The standard model comes with actual steel night sights, not plastic like many competitors, a crisp trigger that breaks around 5.5 pounds, and a textured grip that works even with sweaty hands. The P365X and P365XL versions add a longer slide or grip and come optics ready from the factory. One police officer I know switched from carrying a Glock 19 off-duty to the P365 because, as he put it, I get nearly the same capacity in a gun I can hide under a t-shirt. At around $550 street price, it's not the cheapest option, but the value is undeniable when you consider what you're getting. The P365 created such a revolution that almost every major manufacturer has released their own version of a micro-compact with double-digit capacity, the ultimate complement to Sig's design. Yet even with all the new competition, the original P365 continues to be the benchmark that others measure against.